This whole series essentially started 8 years ago, and 2.5 years ago we were approached by the BBC because we'd filmed so many sequences to actually turn it into a series, and so then they invested all the money to do all the expensive stuff, basically throwing the whole arsenal of natural history filmmaking equipment at the project, and all this equipment, all the setups are now here permanently in Cairns. They had never actually done anything big on the Great Barrier Reef, and they'd been scared off essentially for a long time because of the size of the Barrier Reef and the numbers of stories and even the technology. So the timing was right for this to happen, and so it gets to showcase the Barrier Reef to well over 200 million people. It's bringing all that together and at the end of the day making something entertaining. This is the Australian premiere, so everyone here in Cairns will be seeing it first.
50 countries, 250 million people will see this, and I'm sure that it'll create a lot of interest and fascination in the Great Barrier Reef. And if those people hop on planes and come to Australia, they know that Cairns is the best place from which to see the Barrier Reef, so it should be good for tourism. But I think that shows like this really just remind us of just how precious it is and how fragile it is. I think that's the other thing that comes across in this series. I mean, it can be damaged so easily.
The footage is spectacular. Having spent a lot of time out on the reef, really seeing what they've managed to pull together in the sequences and really capture all that amazing life, it's very special. I think the Great Barrier Reef has got a lot of challenges facing it in the future. Successful management going forward will be really important for the Great Barrier Reef, but also generally education and awareness of the reefs are really important too. And so it's really important that we make sure that we preserve it on many different levels and in many different ways to make sure it endures into the future and maintains this amazing symbol of Australian coral reefs and our beautiful nature in this region.
This is absolutely fantastic. It shows the reef, it shows that it's vibrant, it's alive, and that the reef will be there for a long time to come. You can't imagine how much that will do for the reef and for tourism, but also make people aware around the world that we do need to protect these sorts of things, and it broadens everyone's sort of aspect on it.